First up, let's get you details of what possibly could be a huge, significant landmark verdict that the Supreme Court today has put forward. It's upholding the right of maintenance for all women under Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, that is the CrPC. Now, the big judgment is coming as a bench of Justice B.V. Nagantna and Justice Augustine George have dismissed a Muslim man's petition that challenged the direction to pay maintenance to his divorced wife under the CrPC. What the court has maintained is that secular laws prevail over personal laws. It's also said that provisions of the Muslim Women Act of 1986 do not override secular law, unquote. This clearly, Harish, is a significant verdict. You were in the court when the court has, not just opined on this, it's heard all the views, the counter views. What does this mean in plain, simple language, Harish? Why is this verdict so significant?
Yes, Deepthi, as you rightly put, us landmark judgment as far as Muslim women rights is concerned. It all began when one Muhammad Abdul Samad had challenged the Telangana High Court ruling, judgment to him to pay rupees 10,000 maintenance alimony to his divorced wife. He had challenged that, but the Supreme Court has dismissed the petition and made several landmark observations that this section 125, which pertains to payment of maintenance to a divorced woman, applies to all women, irrespective of religion. A very significant remark. And Supreme Court, this judgment, the implication of the judgment is that the 1985 Shah Bano judgment prevails. In that landmark judgment, it was the first time Supreme Court had said 125 CrPC is applicable to Muslim women also. They can also avail that to get maintenance. But remember, a year later, 1986, in fact, the Rajiv Gandhi government, under the pressure of several conservative Muslim leaders, had circumvented that law, that judgment, and brought the Muslim Women's Protection of Divorce Act 1986, whereby that Supreme Court judgment was circumvented and CrPC 125 was no longer applicable to Muslim women. But today, once again, the Shah Bano judgment has been affirmed by Supreme Court. That is the biggest takeaway. And the law brought by Rajiv Gandhi does not prevail, is in fact almost like struck down, which means that all Muslim women can avail Section 125 CrPC to get maintenance. And let me, for the benefit of the viewers, read out some of the very significant observations made by the Supreme Court, saying that maintenance is not a matter of charity, but a fundamental right of a married woman. This right transcends religious boundaries, reinforcing the principle of gender equality and financial security for all married women. Very significant. Once again, now once more, time has come for Indian men to recognize the indispensable role and sacrifices made by housewives for the family. One more observation, we highlight the necessity for husbands to provide financial support to their wives. Practical measures such as maintaining joint bank accounts and sharing ATM access to ensure economic stability for women within the household. So, in fact, with this biggest takeaway, Deepthi, is that the law brought in by the Rajiv Gandhi government will not prevail, and Supreme Court has once again affirmed the Shah Bano, the landmark Shah Bano 1985 judgment. It's a redux, Shah Bano redux in a way, which means that Muslim women, all Muslim women can avail Section 125 CrPC to get alimony from the divorced husband. Back to you.
Also the fact that there has to be just one law for the entire country. Something that the UCC also, remember, has been speaking about, Harish. I'm just requesting you to stay with us because this is an all-important story. We'll unravel this layer by layer. Now, citing this big verdict today, the BJPs hit out at the Congress. They say that this order effectively erases the regressive legacy of Rajiv Gandhi and the Congress party. Remember, they are referring to the Shah Bano judgment, something again that Harish also just underscored. Let's bring you up to speed with the tons of reactions that have come in from the BJP. This is Amit Malviya, who actually does say Rajiv Gandhi's regressive legacy erased. He cited this entire verdict that has come in from the Supreme Court saying divorced Muslim women can claim maintenance under Section 125 of the CrPC. Now, till now, remember, what the community had been saying and pressing for is that we have our own personal laws, we abide by it. but something again that the courts believe is not maintainable. Also, Shehzad of the BJP says, as a Muslim, first and foremost, welcome the Supreme Court decision. He goes on to say, decades ago, Congress and Rajiv Gandhi capitulated before hardliners. They sacrificed women's rights at the altar of vote bank. Today, the Congress and Rajiv Gandhi's legacies, he goes on to say, they must apologize for their anti-women stand. He says that has been undone, from triple talaq law to Nari Shakti Vandan law to a range of other women-centric schemes of the Prime Minister that has seen empowerment of women. He goes on to say Prime Minister's 10 years are a testimony to Nari Shakti, but the Congress and the India Alliance continue to be obstacle to women's empowerment. He goes on to say they oppose Teen Talaq law, they stay silent on Sharjah and Sandesh Khali, they remain mum on Swati Malewal. They oppose the UCC, Congress and the India Alliance, he says, is anti-women. We also have a reaction that has just come in from him. Let's listen in.
See, whatever the Supreme Court says, one must all respect it. But the question is that when decades ago the Supreme Court had said similar thing, at that time it was the anti-women and pro-vote bank Congress party Rajiv Gandhi who overturned the decision of the Supreme Court only for the sake of appeasing few fundamentalists. And the Congress continues to do that. When Teen Talaq law is made, they oppose it. When UCC is spoken of, they oppose it. When women empowerment is spoken of, to appease a particular vote bank, they oppose it. Today, will they oppose it or will they welcome it and they will apologize for the anti-women steps taken by Rajiv Gandhi in the name of vote bank? They will never do that because even today their charitra has not changed.
So Shehzad says कि कांग्रेस का चरित्र नहीं बदला है. He clearly has, listed out number of these points to hit out at the party. He also says that this is the end of Rajiv Gandhi's legacy. Harish has been able to, explain to us what the verdict really means, why this is landmark. Also to talk about the political narrative here and the political fallout. I have our colleague Pragya joining us also. Pragya, something that the BJP has spoken about right from day one. The Prime Minister himself has spoken about a lot of these issues that pertain to Muslim women, whether it was triple talaq, to nikah halala, to a lot of other these practices that again and again the government had said are redundant. We should be done away with that. But clearly now, this is going to be a huge political battle, citing what the Supreme Court today has said about Muslim women and their maintainability.
You are absolutely right, Deepthi. And to start with triple talaq, Prime Minister said they had, in fact, Prime Minister, Home Minister and all the leaders have quoted Shah Bano verdict of Supreme Court, how it was turned down by none other than the Congress government, and how they have, bereft Muslim women of their rights to claim their rightful, maintainability. And, all of that has become a part of a political narrative as well. And this was played in 2024 as well when the Congress launched its Nyay Patra manifesto, when Mallikarjun Kharge and Rahul Gandhi said that they will maintain that if they comes to power, all the minorities will get right to practice their personal laws. In fact, it became a slugfest during the election time when Yogi Adityanath also hit back Congress, saying that it means that Congress, if it comes to power, they'll also have Sharia law. So it's when it comes to triple talaq, when it comes to UCC, the BJP has maintained that everyone should be equal in eyes of law, and it is also incumbent on them because it has been written in the Constitution, and also it is a part of their directive principles duty that they need to implement the equalitability of everyone in front of the law. And this is exactly why they want that Muslim women should also get the right equivalent to Hindu women. Absolutely. This is going to become a very huge political slugfest. The man who had complained, who had approached the court, was from Telangana. Telangana has Congress government, and BJP has time and again dragged up Shah Bano issue, how they have left Muslim women, at the mercy of men, at the mercy of husband, and they have no right to justify, to have the justice in their favor. So all of that will become part of this political narrative. Now it's a it is going to be big, huge political fight that is going to be ensued now. Yes. It has already begun, and it is a huge, huge historical verdict that has come out today. Absolutely. Saying it essentially means that the Muslim women also have a right to seek maintenance from their husband, from
yes,
their
so Pragya,
former
it's
husbands.
going to be important to see how will the Congress now respond to this, because there is a lot in the history, if you go back, that the Congress is finding it difficult to explain on their multiple stands, whether it was Shah Bano, the stand on triple talaq, a lot more. Harish and Pragya, please stay with us. We also have the very first response that has come in from the Samajwadi Party on this big verdict. Let's listen into what they say.
देखिए, गुजारा भत्ता हम उन सभी महिलाओं को मिलना चाहिए जिनका तलाक हो गया या जिनके पति छोड़ गए, फिर वो किसी भी धर्म की हो। माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो फैसला आया है, समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि अगर उसमें आंशिक बदलाव होता, वो सभी के लिए होता तो बेहतर था, लेकिन वो जो मुस्लिम महिलाओं के लिए आया है कि गुजारा भत्ता उनको मिलना चाहिए, तो जिनको पति उनके छोड़ देते हैं या तलाक दे देते हैं, उसके बाद उनके पालन पोषण का उनके बच्चे हैं तो उनके लिए गुजारा भत्ता मिलना चाहिए था। समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि ये फैसला उचित है।
Interesting, I would say, Harish, is that response that has come in from the Samajwadi Party, because I do remember multiple instances when the SP was asked about his stand also in the Uniform Civil Code. They said, no, it's not needed. This is a diverse country. You must respect all religions, their own personal laws. So there is clearly a revision in position. They've been forced to clearly, accept the fact that what the Supreme Court has done today is important. And one must not, look at the entire verdict with their own political colored chashmas, like they say.
Yes, that's right, Deepthi. In fact, this Samajwadi Party spokesperson is always obviously under the political constraint of being both the parties are main components of the India bloc. They are in the opposition together, and the Samajwadi Party cannot be seen criticizing the Congress and the Rajiv Gandhi's big step taken to circumvent the 1985 Shah Bano judgment. And as you had rightly put, Deepthi, the biggest focus today will be the law brought in by the Rajiv Gandhi government, which is already being attacked by BJP spokespersons, and how that government had come under pressure from conservative, fundamentalist and radical Muslim leaders and circumvented the Supreme Court judgment, which had ordered the 1985 landmark Shah Bano judgment, which had ordered that CrPC will be applicable to Muslim women, and they can use that significant law to get released alimony and maintenance from the divorced husband. And today, as I said earlier, it's a Shah Bano redux, a significant judgment from the Supreme Court, from the bench led by Justice B.V. Nagaratna, who will go on to become India's first woman Chief Justice, remember, in 2027, and a big landmark judgment coming in from her court. Back to you.
Yes, so the laws are secular is, I think, the supreme message that is written large over this big verdict today. We are waiting to see how political parties, especially the Congress, will respond to that big charge by the BJP. Both of you, Pragya and Harish, thank you for piecing